Hey guys, this is my 2007 Subaru WRX. It's actually the last new car that I bought, and I've been driving it ever since then. It's been a great car, but there's a lot of things I can't do, like take all these tree branches to the dump. So I've been thinking about it for a while, and I finally went ahead and bought a 2025 Nissan Frontier. So in today's video, I wanted to tell you why I bought the 2025 King Cab instead of a 2026 model. And then I'll probably tell you a little bit more about like my buying experience and kind of my opinion on Nissan. So these Frontiers come in multiple configurations. You can get a King Cab like I got here, which automatically comes with a 6-foot bed. And then you can also get a 4-door model, which comes with either the 5-foot bed or the 6-foot bed. And the reason I chose this King Cab, three reasons really. One is it's got the longer bed automatically. Two, the back seats in the 4-door are just awful. So I figure they're almost worthless because they're so uncomfortable. But third is this vehicle is just long enough to fit in my garage. If I had gotten the 4-door with a 6-foot bed, it wouldn't even have fit. So that's basically why I ruled on the King Cab rather than the Crew Cab. And I actually think the King Cab looks a lot better too. Now, the reason I got the 2025 model instead of just waiting for a 2026 is because I found out on the Nissan website recently that it looks like they're just going to stop offering any trim models other than the base S model for these crew cabs in the future. I'm not sure why. Maybe they just weren't selling enough of these with the higher specs. This crew cab that I bought is the SV trim, which gives you a little nicer, interior. It's got, different wheels on it that match the body and stuff like that. And it's actually just like a lot nicer truck to drive in the higher trim. I test drove the S trim and I did not like it at all. It was very cheap feeling. It didn't have the automatic climate control. It didn't have, heated seats or the leather wheel or just anything nice in it, really. So I said, wow, if I don't get a 25 model now, I'm not going to be able to get what I want. So, I originally wanted to get this truck in blue. That's what I was kind of waiting for and hoping the dealers could locate me one or order me one, but it just never happened. So that's why I just kind of bit the bullet and got this gray one, which I think is, the more I look at it, it's kind of a nice color. I think it's a handsome color, and I think it'll grow on me. So my experience buying this truck was actually not very great. I started looking to get one, earlier than this year, actually. And if you guys have been checking out my channel, you remember that video I made about, if I should buy one of these or not. I did get some good feedback on that, so I decided to go through with it. And I first just kind of got on the website and I picked out what trim I wanted and what options I wanted. And then I started contacting different dealers around my area saying, hey, can you guys get me this truck? And just for, my own experience, I've bought my last 3 cars through Subaru. I helped my wife buy one, I helped my parents buy 2. So I've got more experience with them than Nissan. And dealing with Subaru is just very easy. With those, I just, pick out what I want and what options I wanted and everything. And I'd call a dealership and I'd say, hey, can you order me this truck? And I'd say, okay. And, I get the truck or get the car a few months later. But with this truck, it was very different. Nissan does not operate in the same way as Subaru at all. I originally started asking like, hey, I'm interested in ordering a new truck from you guys because, I checked their inventory. They don't have the one I want. And it was just like pulling teeth with these dealers, I tell you. No one really wanted to help me. I only got like a few people that even responded to me, emailing their dealership. And one said, hey, come in and we'll talk about it. And I said, okay, this guy, doesn't care at all. He just wants to sell me something on the lot. And then I talked to another dealership who actually seemed very nice. They said, well, this isn't something we normally do, but I can look into it for you. And I kind of find out how Nissan does this. What they do is they don't like make a car for you, like a custom ordered car like Subaru does. What they do is they just make a bunch of different vehicles. I guess they just kind of guess what the customers will want, and then they put those vehicles up for, to be ordered by the dealers. So this dealer told me, well, next time it's time for us to order more vehicles, I will check into the factory's, Frontier inventory, and I can see about getting you what you want. And I said, okay, that sounds great. And, we'll be in touch and everything. And never heard from her again. Not at all. And after that, I tried, with a couple other dealers, and they just really didn't want to do it. I think it's just kind of I don't know, they're just lazy or something. But I, talked to another dealer, and he said, okay, I'll order this truck next time for you. And I never heard back from him either. So it was very strange. So I said, well, okay, well, I'll just wait till the 2026 model comes out and, go from there. But it turned out that the 2026 model did not come with all the stuff I wanted on it. If you want a king cab for 2026, it's just like a stripped down, no option deal. You can't get the SV trim anymore. You can't even get like the convenience package, which gives you all the electronics and stuff. So I said, well, I'm either going to have to buy this truck on the lot, or I'm just going to get, like nothing. Because I really wanted the options and everything. The nice, just having a nice truck to drive rather than just only work and not care about it and, beat it up and everything. So, I ended up buying it from a dealer here, and it wasn't too hard from then. I just kind of made a deal with them. But I got to tell you, the professionalism of the dealers around here is just not good. And I don't know if that's a reflection of Nissan as a whole, but I was just not impressed. They don't really care about the customers at all. I actually went into a couple dealers and just talked with them, and they really didn't care about what I wanted at all. They just wanted to, foist off their inventory on me and, try to, like, I don't know, entice me with like some kind of deal or something. And they wouldn't even listen to me when I said, no, this is what I want. I don't want that truck that you have. I don't know. It was a really big headache. And I honestly don't know about what Nissan is doing these days. I know they're having financial problems, and they're trying to pull themselves out of it, I think, by just, making refreshes of their models and stuff. Like this Nissan Frontier was redesigned, I think, in 2022. So they've also done that with like the kicks and the Leaf, and I think maybe something else too. But yeah, it's just a very different company than it was in the 90s. But I'm, overall happy with this truck after I've been driving it a little more. So I'm pleased with the vehicle, but I'm really not pleased just with the buying experience. And there's a reason I haven't bought a new car for so long. I just hate doing it. But I hope this video was at least a little helpful for any of you guys out there thinking about buying a Nissan Frontier. So anyways, that's it for today. I will see you guys next time.